Good morning. Happy Thursday, I believe. I'm not driving, I'm sitting, so that's good. Hi guys. It's been a, few days, maybe a week or so. I don't remember the last time I uploaded, but I had an idea because Child's Play is coming back to theaters. And I don't know about you, but growing up, Chucky was the most terrifying thing I ever saw. And when I was little, my parents were watching it, and I'd sneak out, through the hallway, and I'm at the edge of the hallway trying to look at the movie because they told me I couldn't. And being a young kid, I'm like, oh, I can take it. So my mom's like, fine, you want to watch it? Come sit down. I had nightmares about Chucky for a year straight. Every single night. I was very young. I was probably 9 or 10 years old when I watched it. So it really screwed with me being that young, and my mom was totally right. I should not have watched it. The whole time I'm hiding my face but doing this, like trying to watch it but not wanting to watch it. So being that they've made a new Child's Play, and I've seen quite a bit of videos lately about haunted dolls and things like that. Even people that collect haunted dolls, which personally I wouldn't want to do, but for others, they like that stuff. I also see a lot of YouTubers that have obviously a huge following, tens of thousands of followers, 1 million followers and stuff like that, where fans have even sent them haunted dolls as gifts because they know that they collect them. I personally don't want any haunted doll in my house at all, but I thought it would be a fun video to see if anyone else has had a haunted doll experience. I myself did when I was a teenager, so I was going to do a little story time with you guys and see if maybe you guys had any, story time comments that you could add of maybe some scary doll experiences you've had within your life. I stayed having stuffed animals for quite a while. I still have stuffed animals at this point. I don't have like a ton of them, but I do have some. I like them. I mean, they're just kind of sitting around. I don't cuddle with them or anything. But I still do have dolls. I've pretty much given away most of the things that I've had that I've collected over the years to, children or kids I watch, or, my son, or just anyone that's younger. I'm just trying to offload some of the stuff that I just don't do anything with. So this happened when I was about 15 years old, I would say, and I was obsessed with Elmo. And about that time, I would say that was like late 90s, about when that was. I mean, if I really do the math, then, so 10, I was just 93, 10, 15, so, yeah, about 90, 98, I would say. Tickle Me Elmo. The biggest thing ever. Everybody wanted to have one, and I was just obsessed with Elmo. I used to have like Elmo bracelets, and I know too there was a fad not that long ago that teenagers were starting to wear like the backpacks of the cartoon characters and stuff. So as life trends always come full circle. So my particular story was I had this Tickle Me Elmo for a few years, and I didn't really play with it. I had it more of like a displayed thing, or I would stack like all my stuffed animals on my bed. When I made my bed, I'd have them all sitting on there, and at that point I had maybe like 5 or 6 different ones. Ones from when I was, a baby that I've kept, and then I had a couple that I just really loved because I still have stuffed animals in my 30s, but the Tickle Me Elmo just kind of sat there. I'd play with it every once in a while and do the little hoo-hoo, that tickles, but really it was more of just part of my collection of the things that I liked. So needless to say, Tickle Me Elmo kind of just hung out for a while. And I ended up taking the batteries out when they died because I wasn't going to put them in. I didn't really play with it like that. I wasn't a child. It was more, like I said, of a display. So, needless to say, this thing had no batteries in it, and it was chill, like it just sit there on my bed. When I didn't make my bed, at the time I had a water bed, shows my age, but there was a gap in between the bed frame and the wall, and they ended up getting kind of shoved, in between the bed and the wall, because I'd line them up after I would make my bed. I wouldn't put them on the floor or anything because I didn't want to have a big huge mess in my room. So eventually they just ended up kind of going down in between there. I didn't really use the stuffed animals, so I didn't think anything of it. And Tickle Me Elmo was pretty much like right by my head, and he was kind of sticking up, kind of stuck between the wall and the bed. And I'm laying there one day and going, getting ready to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden I hear, haha, that tickles. What? It has no batteries. So I lay there, frozen, because I'm like, that didn't happen. Like, this thing did not talk to me. No way. So I'm laying there just trying to be like, it's a figment. You were half asleep, like maybe you just thought about it and you were, in that in-between stage of falling asleep and being awake. So I lay there again. Now I'm fully awake because this thing went off. And I'm like, I know it doesn't have batteries. I took it out. So I decide after the second time that this thing laughed, I pulled it out of the center, or not, I guess it's not the center, but between the bed and the wall, to double check that somebody else didn't put batteries in it or anything like that. So I pulled the back thing apart, I pulled the thing out, no batteries at all. And I'm staring at this doll like, you did not do this. There's no way. I was asleep. I dreamt it. So I have this doll. I'm like looking at it. And I'm like giving it the stink eye because I was like, no, this isn't right. And then all of a sudden, that tickles. I didn't even touch it. I was so terrified. Why is it talking to me? There was no batteries. There was no programming at that time. Like, it had to have batteries in order to work. So I ended up getting rid of it because it went off on its own. At first, I shoved it so far under my bed that there was no way it was coming out. And then I just could not. I just had this feeling every time I was in bed. I'm like, this thing's gonna come out. This thing's gonna crawl out from underneath. I'm gonna wake up and Elmo's gonna be next to me. And it's supposed to be such a, like, fun Sesame Street. It's educational, kid friendly, so super cute. So I'm like, how is this adorable doll talking to me? And then I hear it at the depths of the corner of my bed. This time it didn't say what it normally says. It's just laughing. Not, hoo-hoo, it tickles like it normally did. It was just laughing. At that point, I dug it out and I threw it away. I was done. I was done with Elmo. No. And that's really the only experience. The other thing is, I used to love clowns. And it's not that I hate clowns. I just don't necessarily like clowns and outfits like chasing me. I'm not a real big haunted house person, even though I talk to ghosts. I search for ghosts. I investigate it. I'm just not real big on haunted houses. I know there are people. I just don't like people jumping out at me, touching me. Like, I feel claustrophobic. I've never liked haunted houses or anything like that. So the movie It, I can watch. It's not like this huge fear of clowns, but I had a clown from my grandmother, my great grandmother, and it was the most adorable thing ever. It had like a little beanie, bottom, so it sat up, and it was all satin, and it had a little head and a little pointed hat, and it was, you know, it was small, and it sat up on my shelf for years. And you could turn the knob in the back, and it would have like a little song, and its head would do this with the like big top, you know, song. You can't even think of it right now, but they're like, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. Like when I would turn it, it'd be fine. Here I am. This was before the Tickle Me Elmo. So I was probably 6 or 7, around there, laying in bed. I was in a totally different room at this time. My sister was still at the house, and I'm laying in bed, and this doll starts its little song. All the way up at the very top. It was like 3 shelves high, almost to the top, and I wake up, I run, I turn on the lights, and here it is. Doing this with its head, singing its little big top song. I cried. Because at that point, being that young, like, what else are you gonna do? I just cried staring at this doll. And, I actually didn't get rid of that doll. I kept that doll because I loved it so much. And really, it only went off one other time after that. And I was like, maybe it was wound too tight, and now it's, you know, a residual, residual turn of the knob, and now it's coming out. Maybe it's malfunctioning. Either way, I actually kept that one for a fairly long amount of time, and then I got rid of it just as I got older. And I don't think I gave it away. I think I threw it away, because stuff like that I don't really like to gift to people, because what if there was something in it? So really, those are my 2 experiences of dolls that have moved or sang or did their, you know, music or talking on their own. Since then, I still have stuffed animals, but I really stay away from anything that talks or sings. Like, I don't want music boxes or anything like that because of that clown. So kind of scary, but I know that my entire life I've been sensitive, and my entire life I have been able to sense, feel, and know when something's around. I just never understood what it was. I never understood that this was, you know, a gift, or that I did have an ability to actually have a little bit higher sense when it came to entities or things around me. And there's other experiences that, you know, are different than this particular doll fad that's going on. So, have you guys had any experiences with crazy dolls, stuffed animals, anything, stuff moving? That's a stuffed animal or a doll, you know. I'm sure that most people were scared of Chucky as a child. I know even now my son is scared of Chucky, you know, and other kids are like, they haven't even seen the movie. They've just heard about it, or they've seen a picture of him, and they're terrified. Like, I think that he is the all-time scariest doll ever. When you go back to the second Child's Play, third Child's Play, it gets funny. I can watch it now and laugh, and it's comical to me as an adult, but seeing that as a child can be very traumatizing, you know. So these kids have only even seen just like little, just like I said, pictures or something, and they're terrified of this doll. So being that Child's Play is coming out, and I have seen a ton of videos about haunted dolls and just different experiences, I want to hear from you guys. Have you guys heard of maybe even a friend that's had a haunted doll, or you yourself have experienced it? Comment below some of your guys' stories. I'd love to hear. Maybe somebody else had a Tickle Me Elmo that decided to laugh on its own and be crazy. And hopefully soon Tori and I can get some time. There's just so much going on. We're planning her wedding. I'm maid of honor, so there's tons of responsibility there, but the scheduling and getting everything handled is going super smooth and quick, so I'm really hoping to get over there, and an investigation is coming soon. I try to do an investigation of my work now because I honestly feel as if the presence, entities, ghosts, spirits, however you want to label them, of my prior work have came with me to now my work. Or every hose shop, not hose, no, not that, HOSE, like hydraulic, industrial. That's what I do for a living. I work in a warehouse. So I don't know if they came with me. I don't know if it's still just my family members that are with me all the time, but this office is haunted as well. And I honestly think it's just I'm haunted. I don't think that these places are haunted. I think that they're just with me. So I'd love to hear from you guys. If you could like, subscribe, tell your friends. The bigger our group, the more that I can actually do more investigations. The bigger the group, the more conversations, the more comments, the more content I have for you guys. So if you have a story, I would love to hear anything about it. Even if you don't want to put it on there, you can even message me. But I would love to see your guys' comments on it. And you know the drill. Like, subscribe, notification bell, so you know when I randomly decide that I'm going to post a video. And hopefully Tori and I will have a video up soon. If not, you're just going to keep seeing my face in all of my story times. If you guys have any ideas of something you'd like me to talk about, I've pretty much experienced anything and everything paranormal. I've not been abducted by aliens. I do have UFO stories, apparitions, shadow people, just pretty much anything and everything. So if you guys have a particular story time that you'd like me to present to you all as the audience, then comment below, and hopefully I can speak correctly for one, but hopefully I get some comments, I get some feedback from you guys. I just love to hear from you. I love to hear other people's stories, and it really helps others heal if they feel like they're alone in this, in what they see and what they're experiencing. They're scared, or they feel like they're the only ones. That maybe this will help others see that this is kind of normal for some. And then skeptics, obviously, oh, the doll malfunctioned, oh, the batteries were in there, you just didn't know, oh, you pushed the button. I mean, skeptics can go on forever. So I'm gonna end the video here. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter, but sometimes I ramble. My bad. My apologies. So please let me know if you have any stories of any haunted dolls, stuffed animals, or anything of that nature. Or did you hate Chucky too? Because most people do. So let me know, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Have a great day, and love y'all. Bye.